good morning everyone. So online, is my voice is audible to you all? Can you confirm in chat box once? As well as screen. Clear for all of you? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So from the last class, any doubts? Actually, we have discussed about the servers, right? So let me recap it once. Okay. So now what is meant by server? What is meant by server? So server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. Okay, na? Server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. So totally how many types of servers we are having? Three types of servers we are having. What are they? Online. What are they? Hmm. Hmm. So totally we are having three. Yes, web, app, and then DB. Super. Web server, app server, database server. So what is meant by web server? Which provides the UI part of our application. Who will work on web server? We have UI UX team. Okay, now which type of technologies they will use? CSS, HTML, Java, React, Angular. Okay, now. So now where it will present? Presentation layer. Okay, now. So what is meant by app server? Where our logic was present. Okay, now. Who will work on app server? Dev team. Okay, now. Great. So which type of technologies they will use? Java, .NET, C, C++, Python. So we are having. So where it will present? Logic layer. Super. Pranati. Prashant. Okay. So next, what we are having? Database server. So now, who will work on database server? DBT. Okay. Now, which type of technologies they will use? SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL. We are having the number of technologies. So where it will present? Backend. Super. So then next, architectures of servers. So totally how many types of architectures we are having? Totally four. Majorly three. So what are they? One tier architecture, two tier architecture, three tier architecture. So two, three tier architecture. So here one tier architecture means one server architecture. So totally how many servers will present here? One server. So within single server only, I'm going to install my web server, my app server, my database server. So then this type of architecture is not nothing but one tier architecture. So example for one tier architecture, laptop, great. So then next, after one tier architecture, what we are having? Two tier architecture. So the name itself contain two tier, nothing but two servers will present here. So server one, server two. So web server here. Okay, now app server as well as database server here. So then this type of architecture is nothing but two-tier architecture. So example for two-tier architecture, mobile, YouTube, great. Go on YouTube, great. So then next, what we are having? Three-tier architecture, right? So in three-tier architecture, totally how many servers will present? Three servers. So server one, server two, server three. So web, app, as well as database. So then this type of architecture is nothing but two-tier architecture. I mean three-tier architecture. So what is the example for three-tier architecture? Again, phone and YouTube. Anything is fine. Okay, na? So then next. So actually, I'm talking about the server, right? So who will provide me server? Who will provide? So if you want to create any server, who will provide to me? Means we are having the cloud providers. Who are? So cloud providers we are having. So majorly in market, we are having three cloud providers. Okay, na? How many providers we are having? Three. So the first one is about AWS. What is it? AWS. So the next one is about Azure. So the third one is about GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, now. So AWS, Amazon Web Service. So then MS Azure or Azure. Okay, now. So it was created by the Microsoft. Okay, now. So this was done by the Amazon. Okay, now. So this is going to be the Google. So AWS, Azure, and then GCP. So majorly we are having three cloud providers here. So if you want to create any server, okay, now we need an account. Okay, now so if you are trying to create any server in the AWS, we need to be have an account in the AWS. Okay, now so in upcoming classes, I'm going to tell how to create the AWS accounts or how to create the Azure accounts. In upcoming classes, you will get to know that. So meanwhile, let me start the Linux first. What we are going to start? Linux. So actually, Linux is the base for DevOps. Without Linux, we can't learn AWS. Okay, na? So whatever the stuff you need for the DevOps, I'm going to deliver that. Okay, na? So actually, Linux is an administrator course, so which will take 40 days for this one. Okay, na? So don't go with administrator course. So whatever the stuff you need for the DevOps, whatever the stuff I have in my mind, so I'm going to deliver. Okay, na? So no issue for that. So let me start the Linux first. So now, Linux. So now, what is meant by Linux? So see here, Linux is an free and open source operating system. What is it? Free and open source operating system. So now, what is meant by free? Free is nothing but so anyone can access without any pay, right? So we can able to access our Linux without any pay. We don't want to pay any here. So open source operating system. Open source means what is meant by open source? So anyone can access. That's it. So operating system. So actually in last class I have discussed about the operating system, right? Now what is meant by operating system? What is meant by operating system? Don't say OS means operating system. What is meant by OS? So online, anybody has any idea? OS. In last class only I have said. Can also unmute yourself and you can say. So translate the binary level language to mission level language. So actually mission level language is going to be the binary only.
High level to machine level.
Yeah. So which provides the communication between end user and the system. Communication between server and end user. Great, great, super. Bridge between user and mission. Great. So yeah, super. So actually the OS is nothing but which provides the communication between user as well as system. Okay, na? So we are humans, right? We know the Telugu, Hindi, English, Kannada, Malayalam. Okay, na? So Tamil. We, we are having the number of languages, but mission only has one language. So nothing but binary level language. So if one user want to communicate with the server or mission, we need one translator. This translator is nothing but OS. So ultimately, I can call it as which interface between end user as well as system. Okay, na? So that is the nothing but OS. So with the high security, so Linux having the high security. Linux is multi-user based OS. So multi-user based OS means so let's say I'm having one server. So this is my server. So multiple users can log in at a time to this server. It's nothing but Linux is multi-user based OS. Okay, na? So then next. Operating system. See here, an operating system is a software that acts as an interface between computer hardware and then user. So that's it. Okay, na? So then next, after operating system, what we are having? Types of operating system. So basically we are having majorly. Okay, now. So Windows and then Mac OS and then Ubuntu. Okay, now. So these are also in last class we have discussed, right? So types of OSs. Windows, Mac OS, and then Ubuntu. So then next. Linux OS distributions. Okay, now so let's say I'm having the phones, right? So let's say this is my phone. So I'm having Vivo, I'm having Oppo. Okay, now I'm having Redmi, Then I'm having Realme, I'm having Samsung, okay now. So IQ, and also I'm having iPhone. So we are having the different phones, right? So in the same manner, Linux is an OS, okay now. So Linux is an OS. In that OS, we are having the different distributions. Okay now. So we are having Red Hat, we are having Ubuntu, okay now, Debian, CentOS, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Kali Linux, Amazon Linux, Rocky Linux. We are having the different distributions of OS. So if OS is the phone, then the types are the distributions. So online clear for all of you. OS distributions. So don't remember all these distributions. So we are going to work with Ubuntu and Red Hat. Okay, na, so Amazon Linux. So don't want to remember all this. So online clear for all of you about the OS distributions. I mean Linux OS distribution.
Yeah.
Great. So then next, architecture of Linux. Okay, na? So basically Linux is nothing but the OS, right? Say kernel we can call. So I will tell. So basically I'm having OS here. Let's say. So this is the OS of architecture. Okay now. So first what we are having here? Hardware, right? We are having the hardware. So let's say this is my laptop. If any external devices that are connected to my laptop. So let's say I'm having HDMI port. Okay now. So printer. Okay now. And also I'm having keyboard. So any external devices that are connected to my laptop, all the information will store on the hardware. Where it will store? Hardware. So then next, after hardware, what we are having? Kernel. Okay now. So in my laptop, I am having hardware components. Let's say I'm having CPU, I'm having RAM, I'm having the mouse, I'm having the keyboard. Let's say all about the hardware, right? In my laptop only, I am having the software components, runtimes, binaries, okay now. So libraries, packages. So these all are the softwares, right? So if you want to communicate, if you want to provide the communication between hardware components as well as software components in your system, kernel is the reason. Okay, so basically we can call it as heart of the OS. Okay, na? So online clear for all of you about the kernel. So I am repeating again. So the first one is about hardware. So hardware is nothing but which if any external devices that are connected to your laptop, so all the information are stored in the hardware component. Okay, na? So after hardware, what we are having? Kernel. So what is meant by kernel? Kernel is nothing but so whatever the hardware components that are present in your laptop. So let's say this is my hardware component, CPU as well as RAM, okay, na, keyboard, mouse. These are all the hardware components. In your laptop only, we are having the software components. Okay, na, so runtimes, binaries, packages, okay, na, so libraries. So we are having the software components also. So to provide the communication between hardware as well as software components in your laptop, so kernel is the reason. Okay, na? So then next, after kernel, what we are having? Shell. So the place where our commands was executing. So I will tell. So I'm having my command prompt, right? So let's say this is my command prompt. So in my command prompt only, I'm going to perform the commands. So I will tell what is meant by CD, all this. So CD dot AWS. So then hit enter. So ultimately my command was executed, right? So ultimately where the command was executed is nothing but shell. Okay, na? The place where our commands was executing. So simply called shell. So after shell, what we are having? Applications. So in my laptop only, I'm having Zoom. See here, Visual Studio Code. Okay, now so VLC Media, Zoom, GoToMeeting. So all the applications that are present in application site one. So all my applications are present in applications. Okay, na? So clear for all of you about the Linux architecture. So online, clear for all of you? Sorry.
Yes.
Great. So then next. So actually all about the Linux was commands only. Okay, now. So if you want to run the commands, we need one server. So if you want to create any server, we need to be have an account first, right? So don't create any account until unless I will say. Okay, now. So just try to go with the Chrome and search for killer code. So killer code. So then hit enter. So just try to select the first link. Okay, na? So playgrounds. So playground. So just try to go with Ubuntu. So free. So just try to sign in with Google. This is my. So then continue. So we can practice here Linux. Okay, na? So yeah, here we can practice. So actually, if you want to create any file, if you want to create any file in the server, if you want to create any file in the Linux, so we need to use command called touch. What is it? Touch. So touch is the command to create the file. So touch and then file name. So file name may be anything. So if you want to create AWS file, so just give the AWS. So that's it. Ultimately, my file is going to be created. So see here, touch AWS. So here, touch is the command, AWS is the file name. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So ultimately, my AWS file was created. So let us check whether it was created or not. So if you want to see the list of files is about ls. What is it? ls. So then hit enter. So ultimately, I'm having my AWS file here. So system, okay, no, file system snap. This was the default directories files that are present in the Linux. So as of now, you can ignore this one. I will tell in depth about this. Okay, now. So what is the command to create the file here? Touch and then file name. So ultimately, my file was created. So this is a way for single file to create. I want to create multiple files at a time. So I want to create Azure file. I want to create GCP file. I want to create DevOps file. We want to create multiple files at a time. Then the command will be touch Azure space DevOps space and then GCP space. So we need to give the space between them. Okay, now touch Azure DevOps GCP. So ultimately, this command is going to create 3 files at a time. So then hit enter. So my files was created. I want to check whether my files was created or not. Then what is the command here? So online, what is the command to check the list of files? ls.
Ls.
Yeah, ls. Great. ls. So ultimately, we are having our Azure file, DevOps file, GCP file. Okay, na? So this is the way how to create multiple files at a time. But I want to create series of files. Okay, na? So let's say my series is going to be TCS. I want to create TCS1, TCS2, TCS3 until TCS10. So I can't able to give like this. Okay, na? Touch TCS1, TCS2, TCS3, TCS4. I don't want to give like this. So if you want to create series of files at a time, so the command will be touch only. So way of presenting is the different. So touch, so series, okay na? So open braces, okay na? So lower limit, 1 dot dot 10, upper limit. So I mean, close the brace. So ultimately, this command is going to create 10 files at a time with the series of TCS. Okay, now so remember guys, so we need to be give only 2 dots. If you give the 3 dots, it is not going to be work. Okay, now if you give 1 dot, it is not going to be work. So dot should be 2 only. Okay, now so the command see here TCS open braces 1 dot 10. So ultimately this command is going to create 10 files at a time. So see, then hit enter. So ultimately I have created 10 files. Okay, now so you ls, I'm having my 10 files here. So TCS1, TCS2, TCS3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, na? So clear for all of you how to create single file at a time, multiple files at a time, and also series of files at a time online. Can you confirm in chat box once? Yes. Great. So then next, I want to remove the file. Just now we have created the files, right? I want to remove the files. If you want to remove the file, okay, now then the command will be rm. What is the command? Rm is nothing but remove. Rm is nothing but remove. Remove and then file name. So I'm going to delete AWS file. Remove AWS. So then hit enter. Ultimately, my AWS file was removed. So I want to check whether it is removed or not. Then how can I check? ls. Simply we can see the list of files, right? So great. ls. So previously I'm having my AWS file here. So just now I have removed this one. Okay now. So ultimately my AWS file was gone. So this is the way how to remove a file. Okay now. So online, clear for all of you. How to remove a file. So I'm going to remove multiple files. Okay now. So the command will be rm only. So then file names Azure, DevOps, okay now GCP. So then hit enter. Ultimately my files was removed. So if you want to check, you can also check here ls. My files was removed, right? So then next. So I want to remove series of files at a time. Okay, na? So the command will be rm tcs star. So this command meaning is nothing but so every files that are started with star. Okay, na? So star means all. In simple way, we can say that what is meant by star? Star is nothing but all files. TCS star. So here star means all. So then hit enter. So ultimately my files was removed. If you want to check, you can. So ls. So there is no files. If you want to remove only some files in a series. So we can give the range. I will tell how to give the ranges. So we are going to deal entire. Okay now. So we if you want to cover the Linux, we need to be take 7 days. In upcoming classes, you will get to know. So these are the basics. Okay na? Prashanti, clear for all of. So then next, if you want to create a directory. So in generally, in like this is my laptop, right? So if you want to create a folder in line, I mean in Windows, so just we are going to use right click and then new and then folder. So it is going to create a folder for me. But if you want to create a folder in the Linux, we are going to use mkdir. What we are going to use? Mkdir. So make directory. What is the command here? Make directory. Mkdir. So actually in server in Linux, so folders are going to called as directories. Okay, na? So mkdir and then directory name. So directory name may be anything. So I'm going to give DevOps. Okay, na? So what is the directory name here? DevOps. So ultimately this command is going to create a directory with the name of DevOps. So then hit enter. So ultimately my directory was created. So if you want to check, we can also check. So the command will be ls only. So ls is the command to see the list of files as well as list of directories. So online clear for all of you how to create the directory. So then next. So now I want to create multiple directories. So in the same way we can create like mkdir. So the directory name is AWS, Azure, and then GCP. So ultimately three directories are going to create. So then hit enter. Now view the ls here. So I am having my AWS, Azure, and then GCP. So how can you differentiate that? Whether it is file or directory. So I'm going to create one file here, TCS. Can give ls. So what is the difference between file as well as directory here? So I'm having TCS file. Okay, so this is TCS file, right? I mean dash TCS. So these all are the directories. What is the difference between file as well as directory? So the first one is about color. Okay, na? So color difference, and also we can check list of files as well as list of directory with the help of LL. Okay, na? So LL. So then hit enter. So for the directory, it will start with D. Okay, na? So let's say I'm having uh, my so now for the directory, it is going to start with D. So I'm having AWS directory, right? So it is going to start with D. Okay, na? So for the TCS, it is going to be a file, right? So file will start with hyphen. Okay, na? So here hyphen means regular file. D means directory. So rest of all the permissions. So in upcoming classes, you will get to know that what is meant by permissions, how to give the permissions to a file as well as folder. Okay, na? So users, group, everything we will get to know that. Okay, na? So we will go slow by slow. Okay, na? So online clear for all of you. Yeah. So how to create multiple folders at a time? Clear for all of you? Online. Yeah. So if you want to create series of folders at a time, so the command will be the same. KDIR. So take, I mean series. So I'm going to take info. Okay, na? So then open braces 1 dot 5. So it is going to create 5 directories at a time. Okay, na? So online. Clear for all of you. How to create series of directories at a time. So then hit enter, just give ls. So I'm having my info directories. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So this is the way to create multiple folders at a time. So I want to remove my directories now. Okay, now if you want to remove your directories, so the command will be rmdir. What is the command? Rmdir, nothing but remove directory. And then directory name. So I'm going to give AWS. So ultimately it is going to delete AWS directory. So then hit enter. So my AWS directory was removed. So if you want to check, you can ls. So ultimately there is no AWS directory here. Okay, na? So now I want to remove Azure directory also. So rm Azure, and also I'm going to remove DevOps. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So can't remove a directory. Okay, na? So if you want to remove, okay, na? Forcefully we can remove rm space hyphen rf Azure DevOps. Okay, na? So then hit enter. My directories was removed. So if you want to check, we can ls, give the ls. So totally we have removed Azure as well as DevOps directory here. So see here, there is no Azure as well as DevOps directory. So irrespective of the files, irrespective of the directories, I want to remove all at a time. So I want to remove files, I want to remove as well as folders. So the command will be, so before going to remove, I want to create some files here. AWS one dot file. Okay, na? So ultimately I have created AWS 5 files, and also I'm having info 5 directories. Irrespective of the files, irrespective of the folders, I want to remove all at a time. So if you want to remove all at a time, then the command will be rm space hyphen rf star. What is the command? Rm space hyphen rf star. So now here hyphen rf, what is it? Means recursive forcefully. What is it? Recursive forcefully. So then hit enter. My files as well as folders all are removed. Here star is nothing but all. What is mean by star? All. So just give ls. So there is no file as well as folders. So online clip for all of you how to create the files as well as folders and how to remove the files as well as folders. So anybody has any doubts here? I'm going to repeat one more time. So if you want to create single file, so the command will be touch and then file name. So file name may be anything. So I'm going to give AWS. So ultimately it is going to create AWS file. So if you want to check, the command will be ls. Okay, na? So this is the command to create single file. Okay, now if you want to create multiple files at a time, so the command will be touch only, touch AWS, Azure, and then DevOps. So ultimately this is going to create 3 files at a time, nothing but multiple files at a time. So if you want to check, we can also check. Yes, directory will always display on the blue color. Okay, na? So then next, if you want to create series of files, then the command will be touch and then series is. I'm going to take the TCS. Okay, na? So 1.10. Okay, na? Ultimately it is going to create 10 files at a time with a series of TCS. Just try to close. So make sure that within the braces only 2 dots. Okay, now if you give the 3 dots, so see what will happen. So currently I'm not having any files here, right? So by mistakenly I have given 3 dots. Thus TCS 1 triple dot 10. Okay, na? So then hit enter. It is no longer create 10 files for me. So it is going to read as one file name. Okay, na? So just make sure that only 3 dots should, 2 dots should present. So then next. So if you want to clear the screen, so just now I have cleared the screen, right? So just try to press the Control L at a time. Control L. It is going to clear your screen. So now this command is going to create 10 files at a time. So if you want to check, the command is going to be the ls. So this is the way how to create multiple files. Okay, na? And also series of files. So if you want to delete a file, if you want to remove a file, then the command will be rm and then file name. So rm aws. So this command is going to delete a file. Okay, na? So if you want to remove multiple files, rm and then file name. So I'm going to give as aws, azure, gcp. Okay, na? So this command is going to create, delete multiple files at a time. So if you want to delete series of files, if you want to delete series of files, the command will be rm tcs star. Okay, na? Series name star means all. Okay, na? So ultimately this command is going to delete all TCS files. So if you can ls. So this is the way how to create the files in multiple ways. So online clear for all of you. So remaining, yeah, great. So then next, after files, what we have created? directories. Okay, na? So if you want to create a directory, then the command will be mkdir. What is it? Mkdir. What if what if their files are so definitely it is going to be removed. Okay, na, Shivan. So see here, I'm having my TCS file. So definitely it is going to remove. Search TCS 1.5. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So ultimately I'm having 5 files here with the name of TCS. So RM TCS TCS star. Star means all files, right? So then hit enter. So then give the check ls. So there is no files recording the TCS. So it is definitely going to remove Shivan. So then next, what we are having here, how to create a directories, right? So if you want to create a directory in Linux, the command will be mkdir. What is the command here? Mkdir. So then directory name. So I'm going to give directory as DevOps. What is the directory here? DevOps. So then hit enter. Ultimately, my directory was created. Yeah, it is going to remove. Just now I have said, right? So TCS star means the file name starting with the TCS is going to remove all. Here star means all. Okay now. So TCS అనే ఒక నేమ్ తో స్టార్ట్ అయిన ఎవ్రీ ఫైల్ అని మీనింగ్.
Actually, my doubt is like if we have the file name like TCS 1 to 10, it's okay. Like if we have the file name like TCS company, which is also already created earlier, and we don't want to remove that name, TCS company, we want to remove only TCS 1 to 10. So how do we do that? That is my question.
Yeah. It will happen on the Git. I will tell. Okay na.
Okay.
So in upcoming classes you will get to know that all the things. So these all are the basics. Okay na. So in Git we are going to do like that. So only want to remove that series. Okay. That only we have discussed. You know, mkdir and then DevOps. So ultimately it is going to create a directory. Kdir DevOps. So it is going to create a directory for me. So if you want to check, the command gonna be the ls. Okay, na? So it is going to display the directories here. So this is the way how to create the single directory. So if you want to create multiple directories, so the command will be mkdir and then directory names. So I'm going to give AWS, I'm going to give Azure, I'm going to give GCP. So it is going to create multiple directories at a time. So if you want to create the series of directories, mkdir and then TCS 1.5. So it is going to create 5 directories with the name of series, TCS at a time. So online clear for all of you. How to create single file, how to create multiple files, how to create series of files, and also how to create single directory, how to create multiple directories, how to create series of directories. Yes. So then next, great. So if you want to remove all files, all folders, nothing but all directories at a time. So the command will be rm space hyphen rf star. So here rf means recursive forcefully. Okay, na? Recursive forcefully. So now I'm going to create one directory here. So let's say I'm having my DevOps directory, right? So this is the directory. So if you want to go inside the directory, then the command will be cd. What is it? Cd and then directory name. So I'm going to go inside the directory. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So current. was executed, but no such file or direct. So cd and then actually it needs to work. Wait a second. Yeah, there is no right. Sorry. mkdir DevOps. So then ls. So totally I'm having my DevOps folder here. So it was executing, but I'm not going to insert it. Just wait a second. I'm going to launch one server here. So in upcoming classes, I will tell how to create the accounts. So meanwhile, just try to see here. So actually, this is the default dashboard for in AWS. Okay, now I'm going to create one server here. So launch instance, and I will tell each and every step. Okay, now just try to ignore all this. I will tell upcoming. So actually, this is my server. Okay, na. So in server also, if you want to create a file, what is the command here? You want to create a file hash. Okay, na. So hash, then file name AWS. So then hit enter. Ultimately, my file was created. If you want to check, you can check. So give the ls. So totally, I'm having AWS file here. Okay, now. So if you want to create series of files, what is the command? Azure. I mean, so multiple files here. Okay, now. So ultimately, it is going to create three files: AWS, Azure, and then GCP. So if you want to create a directory, what is the command here? mkdir and then directory name. So my directory name is going to be TCS. Okay, now, so then hit enter. So if you want to check the same command, ls only. So in that portal, if I want to go inside the directory, it will not happen, right? So in server C, if you want to go inside the directory, so the command will be cd and then directory name. So then hit enter. So ultimately, I was in TCS directory. So see here, I was in TCS directory. Okay, now. So here the directory name will display. So this is my TCS directory. So when you see the tilde symbol, so ultimately it is going to be root directory. What is it? Root directory. So now again I want to create a directory inside the TCS folder. TCS directory is nothing but so okay, same command mkdir TCS 1. So then hit enter. So ultimately I'm having TCS1 here. So if you want to go inside the TCS1, the command will be cd only. Now what is meant by cd here? Change directory. What is it? Change directory. So TCS1. So then hit enter. So ultimately I was in TCS1 directory. Okay, na? So again I want to create TCS2 directory. Then what is the command here? mkdir TCS2. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So ultimately my TCS2 directory was created. So give the ls here. So totally I'm having my TCS2. So if you want to go inside the TCS2, so the command will be TCS2. So then hit enter. Okay, na? So ultimately I was in TCS2 directory. So again, I want to create again. So mkdir TCS3. So cd TCS3. Okay, na? So this is the way how to create the directories and how to go inside the directory. So if you want to know currently where you was in, okay, na? So currently I was in TCS3 directory. So I want the path of mine. Okay, na? So the command will be pwd, nothing but present working directory. So then hit enter. So ultimately it is going to print the path. So in root directory I'm having TCS directory, and also in TCS directory I'm having TCS1 directory. Okay, now in TCS1 directory I'm having TCS2 directory, and also in TCS2 directory I'm having TCS3 directory. So if you want to check currently where you are in, so the command will be pwd, present working directory. So online clear for all of you. So now, if you want to go previous directory, so currently I was in TCS3 directory, right? If you want to go to the previous directory, like TCS3 to TCS2, then the command will be need practice. Yeah. So we are also having the lab sessions. Don't worry, we will practice. CD space dot dot. So this is the command to go to the previous directory. So currently I was in TCS3 directory, right? If you want to go to the TCS2 directory, then the command will be cd double dot. What is it? Cd double dot. So it is going to take you as previous directory. So currently I was in TCS2 directory, right? Okay, now. So again, if you want to go to the previous directory, TCS2 to TCS1, so the command will be cd space double dot only. Okay, now. So it is going to bring the previous step, right? So then hit enter. So currently I was in TCS1 directory. Now again I want to go to the TCS2 directory. Then what is the command? cd TCS2. Okay, na? So then hit enter. So currently I was in TCS2. So I want to go inside the TCS3. Then what is the command here? cd and then TCS3. So ultimately I was in TCS3. So currently you want to know where you are in. Then what is the command? pwd. Super. What is the command here? pwd. So what is meant by pwd? Present working directory. So ultimately it is going to print the path. So online clear for all of you. So how to create the files, how to create the folders, and how to go inside the folders. Yeah. So in Monday's class, I'm going to create AWS account lively for you. Okay, na? So if you want to create an AWS account, so we need to be have an credit card. Okay, na? What we need to have? Credit card. So which will charge only 2 rupees. Okay, na? So if it is not there, don't worry, I will provide. Okay, na? I will provide the accounts for you. Okay, na? Just try to attend the class from Monday. Okay, na? So I'm going to provide the accounts, and also if you have any doubts, you can ask in the class session only. Okay, na? I'm going to provide the doubt sessions also. Okay, na? So in lively only we can sort out. So online, if you have any doubts over the session, you can ask. So I'm going to delete my admin server here. So online, if you have any doubts over the session, you can ask. So actually what we have discussed, so quick wrap-up. So we have discussed about the Linux, right? So what is meant by Linux? Linux is nothing but a free and open source operating system with high security and multi-user based OS. Okay, na? So this is a simple comment. I mean, simple definition. I will provide the PPTs for you. Okay, na? And also I will provide the notes for you. So don't worry about this. And also we have discussed about the OS, right? Now, what is meant by OS here? Yeah, it will provide the communication between user as well as system. Okay, na? So nothing but the OS here. So, and also we are having the different types of OSs. What we are having? Windows, Mac OS, Ubuntu. Okay, now we are having the different OSs. And later we have discussed about the architecture of OS. Okay, now. So in architecture, so totally we are having first hardware components. Okay, next we are having kernel. Okay, after kernel we are having shell. Okay, after shell what we are having? Applications. So now hardware. What is meant by hardware here? Any external devices that are connected to your laptop, all the information will store on the hardware. Okay, now next hardware. After hardware, what we are having? Kernel here. Now, what is meant by kernel? Kernel is nothing but which provides the communication between hardware components as well as software components in your laptop. So nothing but a kernel. So after kernel, what we are having? Shell. So the commands where it is going to be execute, nothing but shell. So as well we have executed the commands, right? So touch. So the command where where it was executed, nothing but shell. So after shell, what we are having? Applications. So applications are nothing but the Zoom, okay, so VLC media. So these all are the applications. So after this, what we have discussed, how to create a files folders, right? So if you want to create a file, what is the command? Touch. And then file name. So I'm going to take AWS. So ultimately the file is going to create AWS. So if you want to check, what is the command? ls. So this is the way to create single file. I want to create multiple files at a time. Then what is the command here? Touch Azure DevOps. Okay, now so GCP. So this is the command to create multiple files at a time. Okay, now so if you want to check, what is the command here? ls. So if you want to create the series of files, so the command will be touch series tcs 1 dot 5. Okay, now so it is going to create 5 files with the name of TCS series. Okay, so if you want to check, the command will be ls only. Now, if you want to remove the file, so the command will be rm. What is the command here? Rm and then file name. So I'm going to give AWS. So it is going to delete the AWS file. Now, after files, what we have discussed? Directories, right? So what is the command to create the directory? mkdir. Okay, now. So what is meant by mkdir? Nothing but make directory. What is it? Make directory. So the directory name I'm going to give AWS. Okay, now. So it is going to create AWS directory. So if you want to check, what is the command here? ls. Okay, now so this is the way to create single directory. I want to create multiple directories. mkdir. Okay, now Azure DevOps. Okay, now so GCP. So it is going to create 3 directories at a time. Okay, now if you want to check, ls only. So I want to create series of directories. mkdir series 1.5. So ultimately it is going to create 5 directories at a time. So ls is the command. So if you want to remove the directory, then what is the command here? rmdir and then directory name. So it is going to delete AWS directory. Okay, na? So irrespective of the files, irrespective of the folders, I want to delete all at a time. So the command will be rm space -rf star. Here star means all. Okay, na? So here RF means recursive forcefully. What is it? Recursive forcefully. So now, so totally I'm having the directories like this. TCS, okay, na? So TCS 1. So inside the TCS 1, I am having TCS 2. Okay, na? Inside the TCS 2, I am having TCS 3. Okay, na? Inside the TCS 3, I am having TCS 4. Okay, na? So totally I am at TCS 4. I want to go one step back. Then command will be, what is the command here? cd space double dot. What is the command here? cd space double dot. So if you want to go from TCS 3 to TCS 2, again what is the command? cd space dot dot. Okay, so if you want to shift, like currently you are in TCS 4. If you want to go directly to the TCS 1, okay, now so the command will be cd space double dot slash double dot. It is going to take you as TCS 2 or TCS. So online day for all of you. So actually these all are the commands. So we will practice very in depth. Okay, so don't worry about these comments. I will provide the comments also with the description. Okay, so totally, let's say, I want to open something here. So just wait a second. So currently I'm having just, so this is my drive. Okay, so just write search for Linux. So I'm having sheet here. Okay, Excel sheet. So these all are the comments. Okay, so I will provide the sheet for you. Okay, so no issue. So don't go with all these comments. Then, so I will provide. So online, if you have any doubts over the session, you can ask. So online, anybody has any doubts over the session?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So not over the session actually. That was quite good. I had some doubts related, like I'm having a career gap of 1.5 year now. So
Okay.
I wanted to know if this course will, like, how will it cover, like, how will I prepare for interviews and everything? Because prior to that, I was not into DevOps.
Okay. Currently, you
Or
are working on non-IT or only.
no, I took a career gap. I'm not working right now. Uh,
So you
so
can
that's
learn this
why.
course, and so there is a two chances for you. So you can go with the fresher or you can go with experience. So we can also put some fake here. So by learning this course, you can get 4+ years of experience knowledge.
Mhm.
So I will guide you how to put the fake and I will guide you how to crack the interviews. So in our course, it's gonna be like, in middle, we are going to conduct mock interviews and then exams, all will we will conduct.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know because I was in Pega previously actually,
Okay.
but I'm thinking of a change in like my career, so that's why I wanted to know that how we will cover that.
Course is going to help you.
So,
So now, any alternative questions?
no, that's all I wanted.
So remaining, any doubts?
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, my doubt is currently I'm working as a developer, so I'm planning to switch as a solution architect. Is it a right way I'm choosing? Otherwise, I know I'm confusing. As per some suggestions, I selected this course, but somewhat I'm getting some confusions.
so you can switch to the solution architect, no issue for this. So this course is going to help you out.
Okay,
So currently you are working with how many years of experience?
5.5 years.
Yeah, you can simply switch to the solution architect.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Good morning. Uh,
Yeah,
Actually, I'm working as a support engineer with 2 years, like close to 3 years. So can I switch to the DevOps?
definitely you can.
Okay.
So even non-IT employees, non-IT students can also switch. Okay, now. So recently one of my students has been placed in the Wipro. So he has put in the fake like 3.5 years. So he has placed with the package of 7 LPA. Okay, now. So currently he is non-IT student. So he has switched. So in the that much of knowledge we are going to gain here.
Okay. But I have a IT experience only, like close to 3 years.
Yeah, no issue. Even non-IT students are cracking the interviews.
Oh,
Why can't
oh,
we can?
thank you.
Yeah. So any alternative questions, doubts, concerns? So how was the session today? Online. So at least response for this question. So forgot about the comments. Okay, now I will guide you how to learn the comments. Okay, na? So remaining, so I am getting the few responses only. So from the day one to till the end, so the session is going to be like this only. Okay, na? So I'm repeating one. The session was good. Okay. So just try to, I will guide you how to create the accounts. Okay, na? So after creating the accounts, we are going to do the practically. Okay, na? Great. So
Hey, I actually wanted to ask one more thing. Uh, that will we need to install anything on our computers or will we work
no.
completely on?
Everything is gonna be the cloud based only. So just now I have created one server right in front of you. So in the same manner, we are going to create all the days.
Okay, so we won't need any specific
No need, no need. No.
operating, nothing, no? Any laptop will work.
Any laptop will support.
Okay.
So currently it was I have logged in with Chrome, right? Any laptop will it will support. So any alternative thoughts, questions, concerns. So okay then, bye all. Have a nice day. Yeah, so see you in the classes. Till then, bye bye.